Hello guys, my name is Nuno and welcome back to the channel. Today we are doing a deep dive into the Mensa Select Awards. Basically, I came across the news recently and it really seemed like they paid no attention to what's actually happening in the board game world, so it was a bit weird. But after posting the news and posting it to BGG also and talking with some users about it, I realized it was much worse than I initially thought, so I did a bit more research and here we are. So let's start this video. So I found out this game right here won a Mensa Select Award. Ever heard of this game? No? Don't worry, nobody has. Because if Mensa is supposed to represent the smartest people on Earth, their board game picks are making me question reality. Because your reality is tiny, Nuno! Unlike my brain, which scored higher than Mensa's collective IQ on 3 different continents, man. So, what is Mensa? Mensa is a global society where the only entry requirement is a sky-high IQ. Think of it as a little secret club for people who finish Sudoku before their coffee got cold. But it turns out Mensa doesn't just celebrate intelligence. They also give awards to board games. And that's where the problem begins. So, the award process. How do they choose which games to consider? Oh, that's easy. The publisher just has to pay them a fee and send them the game. That's it.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Oh yes, the ancient right of genius. Pay to win. What's next? Nobel Prizes via Kickstarter? So, it's not the best games of the year. It's the best games they happen to receive from the publishers in the mail. Imagine giving out Oscars to the studios that mailed you DVDs this year. Congrats, Sharknado, your best picture now. Also important to emphasize, they don't play heavy or critically acclaimed games. There's no voting by the board game community and the sample pool is super limited. Now we go to the types of games. So what do these genius approved games have in common? They are light, they are family weight and they are super casual. And that's fine, not every game needs to be an 18xx super brain burner. But if your award never touches on the classics, and you never touch on games like Arc Nova, Wingspan, Brass, and this is just random examples, they are not games from this year, but you get the point. That are really reviewed, that the community as a whole loves, the games that are super played and sold super well. What are you doing? What are you doing, Nuno? Is admitting that you need to explain what a real game is. Spoiler, it's not a game that doesn't have betrayal, tears, or at least 14 pages of rules, man. So here's the big issue. Mensa is using the authority of their name. We're smart, trust us. Let's be real. IIQ doesn't mean you know what you're talking about in every domain. I wouldn't ask Stephen Hawking to rate the best taco in Mexico City. I've done some research. I've seen what some psychologists have to say about Mensa, their members, and mostly what reasons lead someone to want to be a member. And when we researched Mensa, they seem to have started with noble goals in mind: community, mental stimulation, connection, not caring for racial, gender, and other types of biases. But nowadays, it's often, let's say, ego-driven, narcissistic. Narcissism? Please. I prefer the term ultra-qualified hypermind. That's why I gave myself the Johnny Select Award. 3 times undefeated. And I don't mean to define them all and generalize that it's just one thing, but it probably plays a big part in most of the reasons members want to join. This is what happens when your self-worth comes from an IQ score. So Mensa, if you're watching, respect for the brain power, but maybe don't pretend to be the Michelin guide of board games when you've only eaten at Applebee's. Come on, man! Applebee's has endless fries, no. Show some damn respect! An award only matters when it comes from people who live and breathe the hobby. Not people who looked up from a crossword puzzles and said, sure, let's try the game. Next year I'm giving my own awards. I call them Nunos. The criteria? I actually played the game. Revolutionary, I know. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. This video is supposed to be tongue-in-cheek, even though I have some criticism for these awards and for Mensa. And if we want to go serious on it, it actually seems a bit disrespectful that someone that has no connection to an hobby just comes and decides to give an award for it, because awards are not taken lightly, they have some weight to them. And also, I'm not saying that all the games that they show are crap, they are not. I'm not saying that all of them as a group of people are awful people or are narcissistic or are egoistic. I'm not saying that, but overall as an award this does leave a bad taste in the mouth for board gamers mostly. I've not done a big study to understand what all the community thinks about this, but just my small experience with it shows me this. And I'm guessing this would be the same to any other hobby, be it music, be it movies. They would all feel the same if you give out an award and you completely left out what the world, what the community, what the reviewers, what everyone that actually matters in the hobby considers to be great, and you completely push that aside and just get some small selection of whatever and give your awards. It feels a bit disrespectful. I'm not saying this was their intended meaning. I don't want to be mean to them. Just want to make a funny video, but still I think most of this criticism is hold up and they're true. Again, this is not a serious issue, so I hope you enjoyed this video and see you on the next one.